Is there something you've been wanting to do, but you just can't seem to get there? Maybe it's losing 10 pounds and building muscle, or finally ditching debt and investing in your future. If so, what you're looking for isn't just a quick fix, but a lifestyle change, a new habit that sticks. But as much as you want it, it stays just out of reach. So what gives? You're smart enough to figure this out. You've done hard things before. So why should this be any different? When we think about making positive changes, we usually picture it as making a plan and following through. But then something happens. We don't do what we say we'll do. Temptation kicks in. It's 10 o'clock at night, and that pint of tonight dough, chunky caramel and chocolate ice cream just won't stop calling your name. Maybe we hold out for a little while, but eventually we give in. And then we haul ourselves over the coals thinking maybe there's something wrong with us. Here's the trap we fall into. We rely on willpower alone, but willpower doesn't stay where we left it when we resolve to make the change. It isn't steady. It's more like a mountain range with peaks and valleys. Like any muscle, it can get tired. Rely solely on willpower, and eventually your energy gets depleted. Let me explain. In one experiment, researchers divided people into two groups, a cookie group and a radish group. The cookie group got to indulge, no limits. The radish group, however, was tempted with warm, gooey cookies, but told to stick to radishes. Naturally, the cookie crew, they enjoyed themselves, while the radish folks had to resist, white knuckling through every craving. But in a diabolical twist, the researchers rolled out part two of the study, an impossible puzzle. I mean, literally, the puzzle looked solvable, but was only set up to make people eventually fail. The cookie team relaxed and, fueled by sugar, spent an average of 19 minutes trying every which way to solve it. The radish group, exhaustion was swift and frustration hit hard. They gave up in about 8 minutes. And some said impulsive things to the researchers. They spent 60% less time than the cookie eaters who hadn't spent any of their willpower reserves. What this shows is that willpower is like fuel in a gas tank. It doesn't last forever. And if you're already exhausted or facing a temptation trigger that has snagged you in the past, you can watch those reserves drain even faster. As strong as your willpower is at the best of times, at some point you will be operating at a fraction of the strongest version of yourself. It might be tempting to hear this and think, so why even try if my brain is just going to throw in the towel anyway? But it's not that you're weak or incapable. It just means we all need to be strategic with how we go about our goals. Sooner or later, you're going to feel weak. And if you're carrying everything on your shoulders when you're weakest, you're bound to get worn out. Instead, let's try being kinder to yourself. Use the moments when you're stronger to set yourself up for success. Let's look at 3 ways to make accomplishing your goals even easier. One is plan from the peaks. When your willpower is high, that's when you should make your plans. Prep meals when you're motivated. If you want to work out in the morning, lay out your exercise clothes the night before, so you're less likely to hit snooze. Front load the effort when motivation is high, so later, when you're less motivated, sticking to your plan feels easier. Two is toss out temptation. You don't need to beat temptation in a bare knuckle fistfight. Just take it out of the ring. For instance, I love peanut M&Ms. If they're in the house, they're gone in hours. If you have a snack that calls to you but you want to avoid it, don't waste precious energy resisting it. Just toss it out. I have to admit that as I say that, the non waster in me hears the clean plate club saying, no, don't waste food. But think of it this way, either way, whether you toss food or eat it, it's going to become waste. And if you're avoiding those foods, it's probably because they give you the excess calories or sugar you don't want and provide little of the nutritional value you need. Or if you live with someone, you can ask them to hide the food if they want to keep it. The main idea is keep temptation out of sight and out of reach. Remove apps that eat up your time. Put your phone in another room at night. Whatever your temptation is, don't put up with it as a noisy and unruly roommate. Serve it with an eviction notice. It can live somewhere else, but not with you 24/7. And three, automate Awesomeness. Look at your goals and ask yourself, are there any that could run on autopilot? If you want to start investing, every major financial firm, Charles Schwab, Fidelity, Vanguard, they all have automatic transfer. Set up automatic transfers from your bank to your investment account to happen right after payday. So you're paying yourself first without even thinking about it. This is how many people build wealth. They set up systems to help them succeed without draining their willpower. So that's me speaking to your logical brain. Now, I want to speak to your heart. It's tempting when we fail to think of ourselves as failures. But willpower reserves that are not bottomless remind us we're not always superhuman. Sometimes we're just human. When you're tempted to beat up on that version of yourself that gets tired, thinking that will bring about change, I encourage you to try a different approach. Be kinder and gentler to that version of yourself that tries, stumbles, and then takes the blame. Don't make life heavier with self attack. Make it lighter by saying, oops, missed that one. Oh well. Then start setting up systems that can help carry you through. Because if I had to bet money, I'd bet you're doing the best you can. And we can all benefit from extra tools designed to help keep us on track. Hey, you got this. I'm rooting for you.